Guys, welcome to or welcome back to Penguin's Garage. Today we're going to be modifying a Jeep Comanche. Customer got a bunch of parts for this thing and we have to make them all fit because there's apparently not a lot of stuff for Comanches. So this is in complete stock form. We got a stock front bumper, no sliders, stock rear bumper. We have frame sliders that I put in, frame stiffeners that I welded into this thing on our last visit. Did not do a video on that. However, we're going to be putting some of these guys on it, which I think look pretty friggin' sick. These are just mocked into place. Got to kind of figure out where I want them and how to put them on there, but those are going to be cool. And then we have more frame stiffened plates and stuff up in here. Here's the other side. Here's a front bumper. I'm going to be doing a hidden winch front bumper. So this is just a base plate of a bumper. I told him find something that semi fits and I'll take it from there. And if you saw the last video, it only took me 3 days to modify a simple bumper. So this one should be quick, right? Sarcasm again. Here's the rear bumper. We are going to be doing a hidden trailer hitch in it. So he wants to be able to tow up to 5,000 pounds with this thing. So we're gonna kind of get it mounted to the truck and then mess with it. What I've done in the past is I cut a hole behind the license plate and I did a receiver hitch in there. So you reach up underneath, give it the old, oh, you know what I'm saying? And then the license plate would slip into it and use the pin to hold the plate in, or you slide the plate out and put the receiver in there. And that worked really well. I liked that a lot. So we're gonna see exactly how we do this, but that's what we got going on today. Oh, there's the winch. It's a 9,500 pound RC. Yeah, I think that pretty much brings us to where we need to be. So let's get messing with this. All right, so with the frame sliders in place, basically this pinch weld right here needs to line up with this, and it's not. Now it's not lining up because down there I have a stiffener, and up here he has a long arm kit on this truck, which is pretty fucking nice. Like it's a good little kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip these off on both sides, and then I will re-weld this when I have it where I want it and I'm happy with the way it is. Here's what I did, guys. I drew a little line the center of every one of those holes. Then I drew a black line across the bottom of it with a Sharpie while it was up in place, and then I transferred that over to marks on the body. So now I'm going to drill these out and we'll get this bolted back up into there and kind of see what we got going on. All right, guys, so as with anything, look behind your line because you're not drilling it, you're drilling through it. So make sure nobody's behind it. Alright guys, so all of those are bolted in. We got one there, 2, 3, and 4. Now, it was a little bit harder to get the rear ones in. I had to jack it up to the point where it was almost lifting the truck up. And you can see our gap is perfect all the way down. So one thing I need to watch out for now is the rotation of this. I need to make sure that we're level. So like right there is level. That's where I'm going to have to weld these plates back on. Now I just went under there. This one here needs to be ground down a little bit, and the front I have to cut the bar and bend it so it's headed forward. So I'll show you how to do this stuff. If you see here, this tube is now bent. What I did is I used my protractor, and then I figured out that I needed 20 degrees, split it in half, turned this pipe, and then did this. Now, I didn't have enough room, so what I'm doing is I put a piece of 1/4 inch onto the plate that it comes with and welded that all in. Ooh la la. And then I welded the sides that I could. I'm going to weld the top now. And then on this side, I have the plate ready to be welded to it at our new height, or sorry, at our new length that we need. And that's pretty much it. So let's get these burned in. Now my lower back decided it didn't want to be hanging out with us today, so if you hear me grunting a little more than normal, it's fine. As normal, I have my PPE protecting the customer's stuff. Arms and legs, they grow back. I know there's some people that might disagree. This cleaned up. Now, getting this stuff pre-powder coated, guys, I'm indifferent about it. If you got something that you know 100% is just going to bolt into place and that's going to be it, then, you know, it's okay. But we knew this needed to be modified. The problem is I'm going to tear up this clear coat, or sorry, this powder coat, and then when we spray it and touch it up, it ain't going to look right. But I use the Rhino-Line sprayed bed liner for everything, and it should match it pretty well. We'll see though. That side's all done, guys. It's super good. Yes. All right, so that is all drilled. And I was reading through the instructions that have got a little crispy here. And installed by anyone with a modicum of mechanical skill. Okay. What the fuck does that mean? I had to go look that up. That means just any inclination of a little-ish itty-bitty-ish bit of intelligence can put this kit in. So I got scared and I think we're done here. Anyways, I got that all done. We are looking for a, here it is. Drill the holes to 5/16. So it's 1/4 inch to the pinch weld and then 5/16 so that it can accommodate these 3/8 monster bolts. So let's get that bit. Also, one other thing, these are called center punches. So they fit through a hole perfectly, and then they have a little nipple at the front. So these go into these holes and then you tap it through to the frame. So I did that on all the locations. I'm gonna get my drill down there and start drilling. All right, so I just went ahead and I used my Tap Magic. It's a ZEP product, it's basically a drill oil. And I put a little tiny bit on the bolt and I ran these bolts into the hole. It was a little slow going in the rear where I put the stiffeners. But I used a new bolt for every hole. So what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to use the same one and then risk having it fatigued and snapping. And then I wouldn't be very happy at all. So that's what I did. I'm gonna get this thing put back into place and then I'll show you guys what we're working with. So here's the finished product. You got that there. Let me get some light on this. So there's that guy there. I'm gonna paint that in. And then on this side here, there you go. I'll cut to fit, bolt it in. All these guys are bolted in. Here's the final look on it. Look at that gap. Ooh. Okay. That looks tough. I do like these things, guys. These are made, again, not an affiliate, didn't even buy them. Rocky Road Outfitters. They even have a really nice sticker. So that's that. And then let me show you, this is the stuff that I swear by. Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. I buy it by the box, and I use it by the box. So we're gonna do some touch up on this after we're all done, because we're gonna have to paint the bumpers, front and rear, and make this thing look sick. But I'm gonna mimic this on the other side, and I'll come back when I'm all done. Okay, you'll notice real quick here, rock sliders are on, both sides. So that part of the job is all done. Now we're going to move on to the second easiest, which is the rear bumper. And basically all I'm going to do here is just unbolt the brackets, throw it on the floor, and then I'll show you what I undid to get it off. Okay, let's see what that does. Ta-da! Well, would you looky there? Well, this trailer hitch is unique. We have a little weld here, we have a little weld there, and nothing on the top or the sides. Interesting. There's got to be more to it that I'm missing here. Oh, yeah, I know I'm missing it. It gets better. Yeah. We got some bubbly gum. And who knows what's going on over there. Real dilemmas come when you start looking at these welds. Like, I don't know if that's coming through or not, but those are cold. All right, I solved it. This is something for a 1-inch receiver, and it adapts it to that. They just kind of bubble gum that in there. So I made that decision easy. I'm gonna cut this all out. I don't think I would tow my RV dump station with this thing. Okay, little bumper, you come here. Wow, that actually sort of goes into place. All right, I got some figuring out here to do, guys. All right, guys, so I got the bracket off that I wanted. Surprise, they bubble gummed the top of it to it as well. So I got a little plasma, happy with it. But I'm not too overly concerned with that. If there was any doubt if I was doing the right thing, they welded a rod into it, and that's what we got over there. It's just garbage welding. So my next move here is going to be to run the plasma in through here, shoot it up that way, and just try and get a little more of this bracket out of there. All right, guys, so there it is. Both sides are off. I have the bracket in. What I decided to do is, here's the bracket that I took off. Okay, so it has these holes here that we're lining up, but it's got an indent. I don't know if you can see it. It's not straight. It bubbles out right there. And so what I did is I took my plasma and I cut this bubble out, left that there. The reason I left that there is I needed a little bit of a spacer, and that works perfectly if I had washers here, you're not really, when you clamp things together, what you want is you want an entire surface to be clamped together. You don't want to rely on just the bolts themselves right here on a little washer. You want the whole surface sandwiched together. So by doing this, I have all this surface area here that I'm clamping. Now, I also kept this part here because this bolts in underneath. It gives me just a little bit extra. So then I cut it. I cut it flush, which would be cutting it like right here. So I did not measure that. I just kind of guessed at where it needs to be. I just put a level across this, and that's going to be beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn this into this, and that'll be, you know, obviously clamp it, weld it in, weld that. I'm going to weld several sections along the rest of it to integrate these two pieces into one. From that point, I will then be able to put a piece of 2.5-inch tubing right here where the bumper is going to kind of butt into it, and that 2.5 inch is going to come all the way across here. And then I'm going to do tricky Nicky things, and I'm going to cut the hitch in behind the license plate. Well, good morning to you. Just got back from the store and everything. We have 2.5-inch, 1/4-inch square tube. Ooh la la. And we have a touch over 2.5-inch, 2 and I don't know, something. It fits a 2-inch receiver perfectly. No holes. That way I can drill it where I need it and try and accommodate. We'll get to that. But I wanted to show you guys a little tip and trick, just a tip, of course, on how I do this stuff. So I have this piece here that is, as we discussed, not even. I need to know where to cut this. So if you look here, I got a nice line to follow. I'll show you how I did that. If you take your most amazing tool in the world and you just run it like this so that the rounded edge is hitting both surfaces, that's all you do. You don't get too crazy with it, but you'll see now I have the line where the crease actually is, and I can follow that with the plasma. So that's how I like to do that. It makes it easier. You could also use a piece of chalk and follow it if you don't have one of these, but every once in a while there's tools that you buy and you're like, how did I do without this stupid thing? And yeah, this is it. This is definitely the one that I couldn't believe. That and the Milwaukee metal cutting circular saw that Andrew forced me to buy. Yes, great tool. But yeah, I'm gonna get this plasmid out. This is part of the weld that they had holding it to the frame. I'm gonna gut that, and I'm gonna cut this to length, and then I'll get that put on the truck. Then we'll cut this down to length, and we'll get that welded into all this garbage going across, and we will go from there. Okay, so we're going to get this plate put up into place. This side's a little harder to do without the creeper. I know I'm the creeper, but okay, I do want to put all the bolts in, and that way I know they all fit. No surprises at the end. Not a big surprise fan. Now we're going to measure, get this one so we can cut it, get it snippy, and then we'll be styling. Now this piece is a little bent, so we're going to straighten it out like that. Nice gentle massage. There we go. That'll do, donkey. Beautiful. Okay, that's going to get us square there. Oh no, the battery's all dead and junk. The saw doesn't like the little batteries, it likes the big guys. Now, because we want everything to be clean. Let's just clean this up. I'll come back when it's cleaned up. Okay, so I got the bracket and I spot welded it into place to see if I can. Oh, yes, it does. Okay, that's perfect. So I will be able to slide this whole bumper in. I can make this an entire assembly, which will make it ridiculously strong. So, change of plans. I was originally going to have it unbolt in 2 pieces up there or down here. This is no longer going to be an option. It's all going to be up there. The hitch, everything comes out as one. I think that's the strongest way I'm going to do this. So I'm going to get that bolted back up into place. Now I want to fit the square tube in there, which I'm going to have to cut. And I'm going to spot weld it into place, a couple little spots, and then we'll fit the bumper and see where we can get the bumper to end up. Okay guys, so that's where she's sitting right now. I can suck this in a 1/2 inch. Right now it's hitting these stringers that I got coming out for it. So I'm gonna fix those up. This is actually coming out really good. Let me show you underneath where we're at. I'm very happy with this. So what I'm gonna do, here's the bar that we have. I'm gonna tie that into this bracket, tie both these in. But then as far as the bumper goes, I'm gonna weld all this together. Maybe put some bolts in there, but just temporarily to hold it. Then I'm gonna weld this to the bar, which is the bumper. You can kind of see that. I got a 1/2 inch that I can suck it in, because as I said, it's hitting in there. But this is going to be ridiculously overbuilt. So, very happy with our clearance we have for if he puts a spare back in it. The other thing is I can pull it all in a little tighter by shortening these up. And then get rid of this. You know what? I might actually do that, guys. Is it worth it though? Yeah, because I can get easily a 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch here. So if I cut a 1/2 inch off of this and move this in more. Okay, let me cut these first, see where we're looking at, see if I like the gap. It might be perfect where it is. So that's what I'm going to do now. See what that does. This thing's not very heavy right now, but it will be. Oh, I kind of like that. How much more do I want to get out of it? It is bent too. Fucking piece of shit. It's not great. I'd like to see it in a little further. But again, this bumper goes like this because when they welded this, they didn't strap the bumper down to something. I can suck it in a little more. Ultimately, that's the right decision.
You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So if we do that, I'm gonna have to drill out that spare tire anyways. This goes with any project, guys. You don't have to be crystal clear on how it's gonna turn out. Sometimes you just gotta start doing things and look at it and be like, okay, I'll need a bar here. Okay, I'll need to do this. Okay, I'll need to do that. Yes, you can foreshadow and foreskin and you can see everything, but sometimes, like, it's just kind of coming together. And this is how a lot of my life works. I don't like this gap here. I'm not in love with it. I'm going to take probably a 1/4 inch off of this piece in here, which will allow me to inset it. And then I will also have to cut off more of the things that I just shaved down so it'll go in. And I'll have to shave off some more of the bumper. And then we're going to worry about where the trailer hitch is going. So just like that, seconds have gone by. So I got the bar in here now. Everything is shortened up a 1/2 inch. The gap along the whole thing is nice now. The plates have been shortened. I did not shorten the bumper side of things yet. I kind of want to put it in place and see what has to be done as far as that goes. So that's where we're at right now. Ultimately, I know this took a lot of time, but this was the right decision because it'll get us in there even. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get it in there. Get it in there. Woo, woo, woo. Sorry. Disco fever. Now that's what I'm looking for. Nice and tight in there. Gets good cleavage, gappage. Gappage is what I said. I'm gonna have to figure out exactly level for the bumper, and then I'll start trying to factor in everything else. But that's gonna be nice right there. So I'll use a compass and I'll find the radius. More than likely I'm just gonna cut this thing diagonally here. Give it a clearance there, because I don't like this anyways. They just put a little titty there and left it there. So that's easy though, that's a cutoff wheel. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going, sensual massaging, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so everything I'm about to show you, imagine it recessed. So originally I have done it a few times, and I love when the hitch goes in the center here and then the license plate goes into it. You know, you put it on a receiver and a plate and then just put the license plate in, pin it in there, it's there to stay. And then you get the tube in there, right? So if we did that, the hitch would go in here and then I would cut a V out of the bumper and it would look pretty legit. Now, I agree. And the thing that I was thinking with this is he's constantly gonna have the license plate laying around somewhere and can lose it. But if I put this right here, now we're talking something different. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie this, into the bar that we have in the back, and make everything ridiculously strong. Now, it's gonna be a little harder because, you know, my beam ends right up here somewhere and I'm gonna be below it. So I'm gonna have to use plates to tie it in, but it's okay because pretty much every hitch I've ever seen has that as well. So we're gonna cut it into here, and then all that's gonna be visible, I mean, the whole thing will be visible, but it only sticks down at that point a 1/2 inch. So it'll just be kind of like right there, and it'll be flushed into everything, and she's gonna look beautiful. So I had to go yesterday, get a new 5/8 bit because my 5/8 bit was a little questionable. Here's our new bit. The only other bit that they had at Home Depot for 5/8 was the yellow ones. That wasn't good. Not just a fanboy of the red brand. I would have bought a Irwin or something else, but the only other one they had was the other one. Ugh. So let's settle my stomach and let's get back to cutting this thing up. So step one, I have to measure out the bumper, find dead center of the bumper. For that, I'm gonna use my laser and kind of square it up with the truck because the bumper might be a little side to side. It fits on either side, like it's nice body lines, has about the same on it, but I wanna make sure that when you look at the back of this truck, everything's kind of like that, you know? So, laser time. All right guys, so on this one here, what we did is we found dead center of the square. Then I found how far back most trailer hitches go, and I duplicated that. So I'm gonna drill it through with a 21/64 bit to begin with. Then I'll switch over to the 5/8. Look at that. Looks like a professional hitch maker person. I always like to give it kind of a little finish look, so I got a deburr tool. Kind of just smooths it out. Makes it look sexy, kind of. There we go. And inside, no sharp edges, but we're going to deburr that. So to deburr the inside, we're going to be using this here carbide deburr bit. You just kind of put it in at an angle and run it around. Ta-da! Okay, so in theory, this will fit right in there. And the hole should line up. Like a glove, look at that. What? No way. Fuck's sakes. Look at that. Huh? Huh? Guys, first try. Come on now. So here's a look at the underneath of what we got going on. So you can see there's the top of it. Here's the side view. So I got some 1/8 plate I'm going to put in here because I got a gap on both sides. So I'll slip the 1/8 in there and then I'll weld it here. I'll weld it on this side and we'll be good. I don't really want to get into, you know, overheating this and bending that. I think putting a plate in there is going to be a much better solution. Same thing over there. We're going to final weld this all in, this in. This is getting burned in. The other side's getting burned in. All of that's going to get burned in. Oh no. Well guys, I ain't even going to try to hide the fact that I made a crucial boo-boo. Well, this was on the vehicle. It was trying to pull away. You can see how it's not up against the piece here, but it is there and it is down there. Sorry, it isn't down here. So this has a big bow in it. It looks okay on the truck, but it's got a bow nonetheless. And I am going to try to put a clamp on this and suck this stuff together because I haven't welded anything here yet. I did weld here and I welded there, but I didn't weld here. So I'm gonna try and fix what's there, but I don't know if I can. The problem becomes I didn't weld this square tube completely to my piece like I wanted to. So I have a solution. I'm going to cut this plate down here back, and I'm going to cut this plate here at a 45 so that I basically have a fillet weld in the corner there, and then I'll be able to get all 4 sides. But I fucked up. I didn't want to solid weld it until I knew everything fit. And once I had this all clamped up, I had a brain poopy, and that's where we ended up. So I got some corrections to do. I'm gonna get the cutoff wheel in here, deal with that. I'm gonna get the plasma in here, deal with this, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys what we ended up with. This is actually gonna be beneficial towards me, cutting this down lower, and I'll show you why in a minute, but yeah, that's what I gotta deal with. Okay guys, so that wasn't too bad. I cut in here. I have access to that. On this side here, I now have a nice V that I can weld in there. And I got all this side here, so I can now get all 4 sides because I'm the man. Just kidding, I already fucked up, but yeah. So that's how you fix a fuck up. Don't be afraid of fuck ups because fuck ups are fuck ups and fuck ups be fucking. I'm gonna move forward now and keep going with everything. Next thing we're doing here is we're cutting this out. Come with me to a world of OSHA violations. Oh no! Alright, so we gotta do something different here. Come on, baby. Shit. Shit. Nope, 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 don't bind. So what happened there is a lot of the tension that's built up because they welded the shit out of this is biting my blade. So on that one, what I did is I just kept reintroducing the blade, and that makes sure that it stays wide. I mean, we already got the plasma cutter here. Be a shame to not use it. Opted for the cutoff disc. Don't really know why, but just felt like the better option. Hopefully that cut through. Sure is moving. Oh yeah, we got a nice gap around it. So I'm going to use the Chingus, this Chingus here, put a new sanding disc on it, and eat all this out of it. Boing. And then we'll put it in there and we'll gust it off the back. Okay, so we got our notch in there. I got my spacing where I want it. I'm a little bit proud. Now, I had to re-drill another hole. There's our first hole that we were so proud of. Now here's the second one. Reason being, the pin wouldn't go through, like it was too close to the front. So now the pin does exactly what I need it to, and we're good to go. I'm gonna do another plate that kind of diagonally comes off of this, up, over, and down, and that's where the safety chains are gonna go. I'm gonna do that at a 1/4 inch plate. And I'm gonna also do one in the back here where it comes up, wraps it, caps it. So this is not a fall through thing anymore, I don't think. Or I might just do 2 of them. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing things. Just trying to get it done. So let's square this up in there. Okay, there's that. Now we'll square it up off of this side because we know damn well this thing ain't square. Split the difference. And that's where she's going to be. There we go. That's a real hot tack here, guys. Okay. I'm going to get busy with the CAD now, and I'll come back and show you what the CAD looks like. Alright guys, here's what we came up with. I started with this design. Don't like it, so I switched to that design. I like it a lot better. So I'm going to make one with the holes in it and then one without the holes. The ones without the holes will be in the back, and it's also going to be a little longer so it comes down. So I'm going to take my template off of this. That's the noise it normally makes. Safety first, ladies. Safety first. Just going to upload my CAD drawing here. There it is. Okay. Alright guys, so she's taking shape. We're going to put her on the old grinding healing disc. And we're going to see if we can't clean up the top and the sides that you're actually going to see. And then go from there. Again guys, I use the preferred PFERD, preferred German discs. These things, I call them the metal erasers. They're fantastic. So guys, this piece here is all done and made. I put it up here, traced it, and I added so that we could weld it to the bottom there. And yeah, let's get that cut out as well. All right guys, so I got a bucket of welding to do on this thing. I got to make the pieces, slide them in here. I got this to weld in. I have this whole bar to weld in that I didn't do before. So I'm going to just start welding this thing and bouncing around. The piece that we made for it is going to go right there. So I'd say that's about as sexy as it gets. And then after that's done, that's what it's going to look like there. So I'll be back once I get these pieces put in and get some of this stuff welded up. Well. This heavy hauler is ready for some hauling action now. We got our gaps all nice and lined up on both sides here. Came out good, like real good. Here's the hidden hitch. Not hidden, but you know, I think it came out to 3/4 of an inch, not a 1/2 inch below the bumper. But that's all welded in. You can see all of our bracing up under here. I did hitch things. The pin goes right in there. You can see the light through it. What we're gonna do for the lights now, I'm gonna drill a hole here, drill a hole there, and it's gonna accept these, the factory lights. I think they're gonna look pretty good. Then we'll toss the license plate on there and be done with it. I'm gonna end this video here. I think it's already long enough, and the front bumper is gonna take forever. So just so you guys can know, time-wise, I got 11 hours tied up in the rear of this. That is between painting it, ripping all that garbage off the frame. That took forever to not damage the frame and be able to get that stuff off. Modifications that we made, as simple as what it takes to think of this stuff along with the ideas. So I think I'm going to start telling you guys how long things are taking me. That way you have a better understanding of it. So thanks again, guys, for watching Penguin's Garage. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see more detail, less detail, whatever you guys want, man. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. One last little beauty shot of that sumbitch.